Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tanya Ray, and this is There's a Lot to Unpack Here, where today we are unpacking the groceries. Okay, that was way cheesier than I intended it, but I'm not sorry because we actually are kind of unpacking the groceries today. What I mean is, I want to talk about a few things just off the cuff that either I feel like really work for Australia when it comes to going grocery shopping or getting takeout and everything in between, and some things that have frustrated me. Again, this is just off the cuff stuff, so let's get into it. Shopping centers are the place to be. And I'm not joking, I actually really love the shopping centers here because, y'all, mall culture is not dead in Australia. It's the shopping centers. Basically, what they are big malls that have grocery stores within them. So you can get everything that you would get from a mall experience from, say, the 80s and 90s in the US, early 2000s, but you can also do your grocery shop. The one that I go to has, I believe, three different grocery stores, plus it has a meat market, a fresh seafood market, a bakery, and a produce market. Plus all of the other things that you could ever want, like I said, including a bookstore. Okay, that's a different video, but reading culture is also not dead here. So I love the shopping centers, and you don't necessarily have to do your shopping there. There are standalone supermarkets as well. All right, here's a bit of a gripe. Where are the dill pickles? I don't know if this is just a Western Australia thing. I don't actually even remember this being an issue last time I lived here, so I don't know if I just didn't care about pickles at the time or what, but I'm having a very hard time finding something that isn't sweetened, I should say. Everything has sugar in it, and I don't like that. I want a dill pickle. Dill and vinegar. That's what I'm looking for. I might just have to make it myself. Or I think at Costco, I found some that don't have sugar added to them, but they also don't have dill. I think that maybe they're a garlic pickle. So maybe I'll just add my own dill because this is a big dill, y'all. Yeah, I went there. Me with the dad jokes today. Next up is something similar. Sometimes a girl just needs her emotional support slice of pepperoni. Okay, maybe that's a little dramatic, but I love me a pepperoni slice every once in a while, and I hate to say it, but Australian pepperoni doesn't cut it. It tastes fine, but it's more like a salami. It doesn't have that peppery taste of an American pepperoni, and I just really want that. I have found it at one restaurant near me called Ronnie's Pizza, and they also have amazing vodka sauce to dip it in. They also have ranch. I am not really a ranch girly. I like ranch, but I don't need it. And I'm afraid that's going to make me unable to enter the US again by saying that. But I don't hate ranch. I just it's not my thing. Pepperonis are my thing. So yeah, if you know where to get pepperonis or dill pickles, let me know. All right, no tipping culture. Probably many of you already know that there is no tipping culture here, and I certainly did. Being married to a Kiwi, he talks about this all the time because the tipping culture in the US was really uncomfortable for him and it was getting out of hand. I'm not going to lie. But here's something that surprised me. I was expecting to be required to tip when ordering from DoorDash or Uber Eats because people are going out of their way to deliver me food. I know they're getting paid, but still, it just felt like I was taking advantage of the situation. So a lot of the times I'll still leave a tip, but it's just very interesting that they don't even ask for it when you go to check out. It's more of an afterthought. I looked it up briefly, and I believe the delivery people must make more money per delivery than in the US, but I still don't know that it's great. If somebody knows that, please let me know. And also let me know if I'm incorrect in believing that most people actually don't bother tipping in this case. Portion sizes vary. I decided to title it this because people talk about how big the portion sizes in the US are compared to everywhere else, including Australia, and that's true. But I would say junk food that you're buying at the grocery store, like chips, that's going to be smaller for a bigger price, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're trying to watch what you're eating, at least. But at restaurants, I don't find that often. I feel like the portion sizes are super small. In fact, it's the opposite. It might just be the places that I eat. The one thing I will say is it's a little bit more common here to order something that doesn't come with its own side. So then if you're ordering that, usually the side is more of a share portion. So then the portions get kind of big, especially if other people don't want to share with you or you're alone. But I would say that for the most part, portion sizes are pretty big or pretty reasonable. Aside from what would shock people, I feel like in the US, is the size of chain pizza restaurants. Like, Pizza Hut and Domino's, because their pizzas, a large is probably smaller than a medium in the US. But like I said, I don't feel like the portion sizes are small here. In fact, there are often times when I have leftovers that I want to take home. And the funny thing is that sometimes you have to pay for those containers. So I'm going to turn into the person that carries their own glassware with them. I always joke with my husband about that. Those refills are not free. This gets a lot of people because sometimes they're just asked if you want another drink and they don't realize, oh, that soda or whatever they're drinking, it's not free refills. You are going to be paying for each and every one. Sometimes it's a little bit more obvious because a lot of places don't even have fountain drinks, but there are still a lot of places that do, and even those places do not do free refills usually. So you are going to be paying for each and every one, and I highly recommend that if you're somebody who wants more than one, see if that place allows you to order a liter of it, even if you're not going to drink it all, which you probably shouldn't be drinking a liter of soda, but I'm not here to, tell you what you can and can't do. I'm not gonna lie, on this note, I miss drip coffee sometimes and the free refills of that. I mean, it's basically just literal bean water, but sometimes I just really liked that with my breakfast. Often you also have to pay for sauces even for your nuggets. I'm not talking about McDonald's. I honestly don't know. I think you probably do get a sauce free or something like that. But I know that Americans gripe about how many places now require you to pay for extra sauces. But in Australia, a lot of the time you might end up paying for the condiments regardless. So, my favorite place, the only place that I get nuggets, which is called Grilled, you have to pay for every sauce for your nuggets. And so, every single time, pretty much, I'm addicted to the Chipotle mayo. So, I pay $3 for my sauce because I get two. So, those are my little tidbits for the day. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would add, and I'll see you soon. And as always, thank you to everyone who watched this.